Hello, my name is Maurice McDavid, and I am a contributing member of the Good Athlete Project. And today I want to talk with you just a little bit about some of the important conversations that are happening right now all across our country, all around the world. And as sports look to get started again, certainly that will be one place in which we will continue to engage in this conversation. It was on May 25th of this year that George Floyd, an African-American male, was killed on the streets of Minneapolis by a police officer. From that point, the conversation surrounding race and racism in America has continued, has grown. It has sparked marches, protests, civil unrest, and certainly it has sparked, again, conversation in all walks of life. So I want to simply offer to you today a couple of strategies that will help in engaging in this conversation when the fall comes, when a return to sports comes. I think it's incredibly key that you, the coach, or you, the upper level athlete, that you prepare yourself to engage in this conversation. I'm a firm believer that sports is really one of the best classrooms in terms of the brain activity that's happening as you are physically engaged. And so as a result, these conversations are going to come up, and we're going to need to be prepared to handle them to the best of our ability. So two things I want to share with you today with regard to this conversation. The first thing I would share with you is that there simply has to be a model of effective call-up communication. And so, oftentimes what happens is if somebody says something that is racially charged, or that maybe is misunderstood, or for whatever reason is offensive, oftentimes people will call that person out. And that call out, as many of you know, is not a comfortable moment. It's a moment that then automatically involves emotion. It's a moment that automatically involves somebody perhaps responding with less logic and more so from that idea that they're feeling called out. But instead, what I would encourage you to use, and I heard this language from the Knox College football team. I'm a Knox alum, had an opportunity to speak with a few of their coaches and with their team on this same conversation. And I heard them use this language, call up. And I really buy into that idea, and I've always bought into that idea, but I like being able to put those words to it. The idea is simply that I'm not calling you out. I'm not going to call you out in order to isolate you. I'm not calling you out in order to try to make you angry, but instead, I'm calling you up, and I'm asking you to communicate at a higher level. And so certainly as we think about this conversation with race in America, you're going to see difficult moments, but we know that these are not the only difficult conversations that we are having. Conversations on sex, sexual assault, conversations on other difficult issues like gender, are all conversations that come up within the realm of sports. And so now we as coaches can be better prepared to promote this concept of calling up. I'm asking you to communicate at a higher level. Now, one of the things that is absolutely necessary when you talk about a call up is that communication, that call up communication, has to be done caringly from the person who has been offended, and the response has to be done humbly from the person who is being called up. The second thing that I'd add, though, is that those things, caring and humility, are things that happen when you have a culture of coachability. And so, again, when I think about engaging with somebody who maybe has said something offensive, it really is not unlike engaging with that defensive end who has missed the tackle. And so the simple fact is that I've got to find a way to get that person to do better. So again, right, going back to calling them up, I'm asking you to perform at a higher level. That culture of coachability says that I could be a third string defensive end, or I could be an All-American defensive end. And if my coach says that I need to do this better, I'm going to accept that with humility, because I know that my coach is coming from a place where they care about me and want what's best. And so if we can take that same idea, that culture of coachability, and apply it to this difficult conversation on race and racism. If my teammate is calling me up to communicate at a higher level, I know that they're doing it because they care about me and they want me to be a better communicator and a better person. And because I know that they care about me, it's easy for me to be humble and receive that coaching. So there are times where there are microaggressions. There are times where maybe things are said out of ignorance. There are times where things are said, and again, it's something maybe you grew up with and not knowing that it was offensive. But if somebody calls you out and says, hey, when you said that, that was offensive, then again, having that understanding that they're coming from a place of caringness and I'm going to come from a place of humility, it promotes that culture of coachability, and as an end result, we can do better as a team. So again, I want to thank you for listening today. I know this was just a short video, but there's going to be more content coming. Please, if you have not already, go follow the Good Athlete Project on Instagram, Twitter, their Facebook page for more content like this. Thank you and have a great day.